Chapter 27, The Beyond. The knowledge needed about spiritual life. How ignorant of the spiritual teachings I find this humanity, and it is because it has been taught that my law and my doctrine are only a morality that will be of use as an aid, and not as the path that will guide its spirit toward the perfect mansion. The different religions have come sowing a false fear towards spiritual knowledge within the heart of man, which has caused them to flee from my revelations and to be submerged in the confusion of their ignorance, arguing that the spiritual life is a profound mystery. Those who affirm this are lying. All the revelations of Yah made to men since the beginning of mankind speak of the spiritual existence. It is true that I had not revealed all my teaching to you, because you were not capable of knowing it all, until the time arrived. But what the Father has revealed up to now is enough for you to have a complete knowledge of the spiritual life. The spiritual life that is yearned for by many is feared, denied, and even mocked by others. But impassive, it awaits everyone. It is a bosom that shields you, arms that embrace you, the homeland of the Spirit. It is a profound mystery even for the wise. But in my arcanum you can enter, as long as the key that you use to open the door is that of love. Heaven and hell. Men have imagined hell as a place of eternal torture, where they believe that all those who have disobeyed my mandates will go. And in the same way they have created a hell for great faults, they have imagined another place for lesser faults, as well as one more for those who have done neither right nor wrong. Those who say that in the hereafter there is neither rejoicing nor suffering are not telling the truth. No one is without suffering, nor exempt from rejoicing. Afflictions and joys will always be mixed as long as the spirit does not attain the supreme spirit. Listen, O my people. Hell is within the incarnated and disincarnated, indwellers of this world and the spiritual realm. Hell is a symbol of great pain, of terrible remorse, of desperation, of suffering and bitterness of those who have sinned greatly, and from those consequences they will be liberated according to the evolution of their spirit towards love. Glory, on the other hand, which symbolizes happiness and true peace, is for those who have withdrawn from earthly passions in order to live in communion with Yah. Question your conscience and you will know if you are living in hell, if you are atoning for your faults, or if you are vibrating with the peace of glory. What men call glory or hell are not predetermined places. It is the essence of your deeds which your spirit gathers when it reaches the spiritual realm. Each one lives his hell, inhabits his world of atonement, or enjoys the happiness which the elevation and harmony with the divine spirit offers. Just as man on earth can create a spiritual peace for himself similar to the peace of my kingdom, he can also, with his perversity, surround himself with an existence like hell, made of vice, evil, and remorse. In the hereafter, the spirit can also find worlds of darkness, of perversity, of hatred, and vengeance according to the spirit's degree of confusion, low passions, and desires. But truly I say to you that the heaven, as well as the hell, which men visualize only through earthly figures and images, are no more than different stages of the spirit's evolution. One stage is the highest level of perfection achieved by a spirit through its evolution and virtue, and the other is a stage where the spirit lives in an abyss of darkness, vices, and confusion. To the virtuous spirit, it makes no difference where it finds itself, for wherever it may be, it will carry within the peace and the love of the Creator. On the other hand, the impure and disturbed spirit can find itself in the best of worlds, but will continue to feel itself burning with remorse until it becomes purified. Do not believe that I, your Father, have created places specifically for the purpose of punishing you and thus eternally avenging your offenses. How foolish are the men who continue to teach those theories. How is it possible for you to believe that eternal darkness and pain are the destiny awaiting spirits, which, though having sinned, will always be children of Yah? If they need be taught, here is the teacher. If they need love, here is the Father. And if they yearn for forgiveness, here is the perfect judge. The one who never seeks me, correcting his faults, will be unable to reach me. But one who will be able to resist my justice nor my trials, you can only reach me when you are pure. Among so many mansions within the house of the Father, there does not exist a single world of darkness. His light is in all of them. However, if the spirits penetrate into them with a veil over their eyes, due to ignorance, how can they be able to behold that splendor? If you ask a blind person here in the world what he sees, he will answer only darkness. It is not that the sunlight does not exist, rather that he is not able to see it. I say to you during this period, do not accept the idea of hell that humanity has accepted. There is no more hell in this world other than the life that man has created with his wars and hatred. And in the spiritual valley, there is no fire other than the great remorse that the spirit feels when his conscience shows its errors. Those who in their religious fanaticism only await the punishment of hell and the beyond, while holding that belief, are themselves forging their own hell, for the confusion of the spirit is similar to that of the human mind, but more powerful. You ask, Master, is there salvation for them? I tell you, there is salvation for everyone, but peace and light will come to the spirit when the darkness of the disturbance has gone. Have you ever felt pity for someone whose mental illness makes him see things that do not exist? How much greater would be your sorrow upon seeing those disturbed beings in the beyond as they look into their imaginary hell? Do not tremble before these revelations. On the contrary, enjoy thinking that this world comes to destroy the concept of eternal punishment that you have had, and all the interpretations that you have been given of eternal fire in the past. Fire is a symbol of pain, of the regrets and repentance that torment the spirit. Purifying it as gold is purified in the crucible. In that pain is my will, and in my will is love for you. If it were true that fire was what punished human sin, then the bodies of all who have sinned would have to be thrown into the fire here on earth while alive. The dead would not feel it because their bodies never ascend to the spiritual space. Rather, when their mission is concluded, they return to the bowels of the earth, where they merge with nature, from which they took life. But if you believe what you call eternal fire is not for the body, but for the spirit, that too is a serious mistake. For in the spiritual realm, there are no material elements, nor does fire act upon the spirit. What is born of matter is matter. What is born of the spirit is spirit. My word does not descend to attack any belief. If someone believes such, they are gravely in error. My word comes to explain the content of all that which has not been duly interpreted, and which therefore has produced confusions that have been transmitted from generation to generation among humanity. What worth would my law and my doctrine have if they were not able to save spirits from error and sin? And what purpose would my coming as a man to the world have had if there were to be many who would be lost forever in endless atonement? Some are motivated to do good works because they are fearful that death might surprise them, having no merit to present to the Most High. Others leave off evil only from fear of dying in sin and having to withstand after this life the eternal torment of hell. How deformed and imperfect is that Elohim in the form that so many imagine, how unjust, monstrous, and cruel. Together, all the sins and crimes that men have committed could not compare with the perversity of the punishment in hell for all eternity, to which, according to them, Yah condemns his children who sin. Have I not explained to you that the greatest attribute of Yah is love? Do you not believe then that eternal torment would be the absolute negation of the divine attribute of eternal love? You believe that heaven is a region in the infinite, and that you can get there by means of a sincere repentance of your faults at the hour of your material death, being confident that you will be pardoned at that instant and carried by me to the kingdom of heaven. That is what you believe. But I tell you that heaven is not a place, nor a region, nor even a mansion. Heaven is your elevation and perfection. It is your state of purity. In whom does it lie to permit you to enter heaven? In me, who has always been calling you, or in you, who have always been so slow. Cease limiting the infinite, the divine. Do you not understand that if heaven were, as you believe, a mansion, a particular place, then it would not be infinite? It is time that you conceive of spiritual in a more elevated way, so that although your idea may not encompass all the reality, it will at least come close. The music of heaven. You may have heard that in heaven the angels listen eternally to the divine concert. If you consider that symbolic sense, be careful to not believe that in glory they listen to music similar to that you are used to on earth. Who believes thusly has fallen into a complete error of materialism. But he who, on hearing of the music of heaven and the joy of the angels hearing it, thinks of the harmony with Elohim in the divine concert, will have arrived at the truth. How can it be that there are some who do not understand this when in your spirit you bear a note of the universal concert? How can it be that hearing this word, there are those who do not understand it, who do not feel it, or who interpret it badly? O beloved children, seek the light in prayer, for you are fragile in your understanding. Ask me in your meditations, for no matter how big your questions from the infinite, I shall know how to answer them. At the same time, I too will question you, so that between the master and the disciples, the light of truth may arise. The celestial music is the presence of Yah in you, and in the middle of that concert, your note shall vibrate when you have achieved true elevation, which is spiritual beauty. That is the celestial music and the singing of the angels. When you know and feel like that, the truth shall shine in your being, and you shall feel that Elohim is in you. Life shall offer you an eternal and divine concert, and in every one of its notes you shall discover a revelation. As yet you have not heard in their perfect harmony the beautiful notes that are at times sweet and other times vibrant. If you do somehow perceive them, they will seem to you like vague notes you cannot manage to bring together, and you will not be able to fully realize the beauty they contain. It is necessary to go beyond the senses, beyond the passions and the shadows of materialism in order to hear the concert of Elohim in your spirit. In my Father's house, there are many mansions, dwellings. My work will continue to grow more and more until finally all spirits are unified in the fulfillment of my law, and this dwelling is converted to a whole world of perfection. Those who inhabit it in the time will feel my love palpitate in all creation and will continue preparing to inhabit a better world. This dwelling shall be temporary for your spirit. It will go to other regions, to other planes of the beyond in search of its perfection. Remember that I told you, in my Father's house are many mansions. In this time of greater evolution, in which you understand my teachings better, I have come to tell you, in the house of the Father there are infinity of mansions. Do not think, therefore, that upon leaving this world you will achieve the maximum level of spiritual elevation. No, disciples, when your time on this planet ends, I will lead you to other dwellings, and in this way I will guide you eternally upon the infinite ladder of your perfection. Trust in me, love me, and you shall be saved. It is impossible from this world you try to imagine that my kingdom, heaven, or glory are, or how they are. It suffices for you to know that it is the state of perfection of the spirit, and where it sees, feels, and understands the marvelous life of the spirit, which you cannot understand or conceive now. I say to you that even the spirits who inhabit higher levels than those where you live do not know the reality of that existence. Do you know what it is to live within the bosom of the Father? When you dwell there, then you will be able to know it. Only a vague presentiment, a slight intuition of that mystery, will briefly cross through your heart as an incentive along your path of evolution. My peace be with you.